Hello, and thank you for logging on to our presentation. My name is Russell Walsh, and I work within the Food and Safety Environmental Health team. We are aware that these really are unprecedented times, and many business owners will be very concerned with how this is going to affect their livelihood, together with concerns about protecting the safety of their staff, their customers, and themselves. We've asked ourselves what implications the COVID pandemic could have had on food businesses in the Lancaster district. And we would like to let you know that we are here to support you and offer advice and guidance. Should you have any questions, then please feel free to contact us. Initially, you could find some helpful information in our COVID-19 related FAQs for food businesses at Lancaster City Council, Environmental Health, Food Safety. This page also includes some detailed steps you can take with your business to be safe with staff and customers. But please listen to this short presentation containing advice targeted for all food businesses, however you may be affected at this time, whether you've started doing deliveries, takeaways, or alternatively are closed and looking to reopen. Many of our businesses unfortunately have had to close during this time, but some are able to stay open. So be it with dramatically adapting their trading practices, both in order to provide a much needed service and to help keep their business trading. Firstly, I must have to say about registration. If you've decided during this period to start selling or providing food as a new venture, either from home, taking over a vacated food premises, via social media or through a delivery app, then please be aware that you must be registered with us. It is a legal requirement. It doesn't take long to do. It applies to any organised and ongoing provision of food, including if it's even for a charitable purpose, and it's free of charge to register. Anybody providing food to the public must ensure that any food provided is safe for human consumption, even if it's as simple as repacked sweets, home-baked cakes, or ready meals. There is a lot to take into consideration when considering the legal requirements that apply to a food business, including a documented food safety management, temperature control, cross-contamination, allergens awareness, and hygiene training for you and your staff, which all relate as to whether you can safely operate a food business from home or a premises. Even further consideration should be given to if you can operate a business from home with your landlord or a mortgage company. It's free to register at lancaster.gov.uk, or please send us a quick email to environmentalhealth@lancaster.gov.uk and we can send you a link for registering a business. I now discuss a few points that will be relevant if you are still trading, have started doing deliveries, or are closed and planning to open when you feel it's safe to do so. If you're still open but doing so with amended trading. If you've remained trading but venturing into something new like deliveries or takeaway, then you have a lot to consider. You need a safe delivery method in order to minimize contact. Doorstep delivery, no physical contact with the customer. Place items at the door and knock for the customer to pick up. Temperature control for hot or cold foods. Use keep warm bags or cool boxes or bags with ice packs for temperature control during the delivery period. And ensure delivery as quick as possible from the point of cooking or from leaving the fridge. Encourage online payment over the phone when taking the order. This avoids the risk of contact with your customer or cash at delivery. Staff PPE to protect them during any direct contact if it's unavoidable. Ensure staff understand the correct handling procedure if taking cash. Try and maintain a safe distance. Use gloves just the once to handle cash, or sanitize hands immediately after handling the cash. Ensure there's no risk of cross-contamination from raw meats to anything that's ready to eat if you're delivering both. Pack in separate bags or boxes. Don't enter the house of the customer. Encourage staff to wash hands on return to work. Please note, this is to protect the staff as well as your customers. If you're doing a takeaway collection, regulate the entry, signs and payment markings to direct customers. Little tip for you, try and ensure that people in the queue aren't blocking an exit route for those leaving the shop. Control distancing inside the shop. Limit your numbers, mark the flooring, one at a time at the till. Signage reminding customers of responsibilities, reminding them to keep the distance. Screens, plexiglass screens to protect your staff. Encourage use of contactless payment. Provide alcohol-based hand sanitizer for staff and customers. And sanitize hand contact points regularly. Things you don't think about. Shop counter, your door handles, card machine if they have to press the pin in, carrying baskets, trolleys, etc., etc. Stagger times for collection if you're taking orders over the phone, and masks for the staff just to be safe. Social distancing for staff is essential to try and stop the virus spreading should anyone be carrying it and not showing any symptoms. Separate working stations. If within 2 meters, try and have staff working back to back. Staff hygiene awareness, no coughing or sneezing over colleagues. Hand washing, staff temperature checking, regular cleaning and sanitizing of work surfaces and wearing masks to prevent any spread. Staggered start times so staff are all in changing rooms at the same time to try and keep them apart. You can carry this virus for up to 2 weeks without any symptoms, and it is thought that it can live on some work surfaces for up to 72. So personal hygiene and regular sanitizing is imperative. Knowledge of allergens is essential. I won't mention these too much as my colleague Kevin Burge will go into these a bit more after myself. It's important that you ensure you use reputable suppliers. Some people may be taking advantage by selling an illegal or inferior quality produce. Please ensure you have traceability and labelling on your ingredients. Now, if you're closed and planning to reopen, this must be difficult. Either you've been told you had to close or you had to take the decision to close to ensure the safety of yourself, your staff, and your customers. The previous pointers will all be helpful when you reopen, and all points raised will be something for you to look at, especially for prior to opening, so you are prepared. Whilst you are closed, it may be a good time to plan and organise your business for when the time is right to reopen. So here is a few points of recommendation for you. Get your paperwork up to speed. If you have an SFBB or your own food safety management system, then this is the perfect time to check it and get it up to date, or maybe get one. Do you or your staff need to undertake any training, level 2 health hygiene or allergens awareness? You can undertake such courses virtually whilst waiting to open. We have a link for these which will be given at the end of this presentation. Ensure you undertake a deep clean before reopening. It's the opportune time. Rats are hunting for foods due to the lack of wastage available in bins, so we need to be sure, is your premise secure from possible entry or waste to attract them? Did you know, little nugget for you, if there are any gaps that are wide enough to fit a pen through, then this could allow a mouse entry into your premises. Do you have any maintenance issues that you could do with sorting, tiling, painting or pest proofing? It's the ideal time to do it while you're closed. Stock rotation. Do you have any stock in the freezer? Do you know what shelf life you had left before it was frozen? So do you know how long it's safe for when you defrost it? Stock durability. Check your incoming supplies. You don't want them delivering short-dated products. Ensure you have enough cleaning materials, including sanitizer and PPE for your staff. Legionella could be a risk from stagnant water in pipes. Run water through all taps before using. We recommend wearing a mask when doing this as it can become airborne in the spray. Now, do you need to undertake an allergens audit? This is something we are now paying attention to on our regular inspections and could be reflected in your food hygiene rating. Again, my colleague Kevin will be covering this next. If you are a restaurant, cafe or pub, then we will be waiting on government guidance about expectations and requirements regarding reopening for seated guests. Other countries are starting to implement procedures, so we are sure to have more information at some point soon. What some other countries are trying so far include single-use menus, PPE for staff, spacing the seating, sanitizing tables and hand contact points after each sitting, staff sanitizing hands after handling cutlery and plates, screens to protect staff and on tables for the customers, customer hand sanitizing stations, temperature testing staff and customers, signage and asking customers as to if they have been ill or anyone they've been in contact with have been ill in the last 2 weeks. The potential list goes on, and official advice from the government will follow. But ultimately, we need to ensure that if life is to return to normal, then we have to continue to restrict the possible spread of this virus. If you're closed and not reopening, this is the worst possible scenario and a real shame. All we can ask is that you ensure the premises is free from food waste to prevent the risk of pest ingress. We are notified as such that you have closed so we can take you off our system. If possible, please let any new startups in the premises know that they need to be registered with us. If you are looking to diversify in any way, we are here to help you to do so safely, should you need any advice. We can help you to identify and control any additional food safety hazards that your changing business operation may present. But essentially, to summarise, what we need to focus on is food safety, cleaning and sanitizing, employee health monitoring and hygiene, and social distancing. You might notice I mentioned sanitizing a lot. We recommend that you check your contact times of the sanitizer you are currently using to ensure its effectiveness against viruses as well as bacteria. It can vary. We recommend one that is compliant with BS-EN 1276 or BS-EN 13697, or specifically BS-EN 14476 for viruses. You will see it in the labelling if it's got it, or you can contact the product manufacturer to check. A reminder on disinfection. It's a two-stage process. Remove the food debris and grease from the surface, and then spray your disinfectant, leave it on the surface for the required time, and use a disposable paper towel to wipe it away and throw it in the bin. We have a variety of resources for you to use to your advantage, which you can now see at lancaster.gov.uk/FST for food safety training. But if there is something that we have missed, or maybe you're looking to start something that I haven't mentioned, please ask yourself, can we help? If so, please email us at environmentalhealth@lancaster.gov.uk or call us on 01524 58 2000. And now I'll hand you over to my colleague Kevin, who will discuss allergens. Thank you for listening.